to the new style, as the Beastie Boys used to say. Look, with a spoon. Will you be doing that, Coach Turner, or will you be picking it up and stuffing it in your gob, which is the other favoured way of many in the, well, not only in the Gumper community, but right across Portugal. It really has ruffled a few feathers, the suggestion to eat with a spoon, and it is what a lot of my Portuguese friends seem to do. There are some mitigating factors which we might go into with John a little bit later on. And we've got Antonio Barbosa, some Tony time. Is he going to be moist in the Minho this morning? Let's find out when Tony joins us at around 8:20. I've got a little bit of a video preview, actually, a lovely. Let's use one of Tony's videos this morning to illustrate the fabulous culture that we have here in Portugal. And he'll tell us more about it when he arrives at 8:20. The only slightly negative thing, says Coach T, about Setúbal is finding somewhere to park. Setúbal, a victim of its own success, perhaps there. Very popular, and was one of the picks of Peter van Noonen of the Portugal company when he chose his 5 hotspots last week. Was it last week or the week before? My goodness. And this week, of course, on the Expats Portugal webinar, it'll be Philomena returning first Thursday of the month. Portuguese language and culture with Philomena, expressing gratitude, apologies, and more Portuguese etiquette. And I think that's going to be, as usual, very interesting. So let's crack on, shall we, with the Bon Dia Daily News, weather, the language and culture, and a bit of well-being to a first aid course to tell you about today. So let's get on with that in anticipation of Tony and John joining us this morning. T-Duck in as well. Bon dia, Gumpers. Good morning to you, T-Duck. And Jacqueline Branco. Bon dia. Hello, Jacqueline. How are you? I'm not sure if I ever wished you a buono. Is it okay to do that on the 4th of February? I wonder. I hope you're well. And any news from you, local news, Silver Coast news, Jacqueline Branco, very gratefully received. Seemed a bit slow this morning. There was a late night here in the Munson household after the wine club last night. Very good. A really good showing of different types of single grape wines. We had Torriga Nacional, we had Syrah, we had Castelão, we had the Loureiro, Vinho Verde grape, Merlot. It was really good, and quite by accident as well. So Portugal again showed itself, gave a great account of itself in the single grape wines for under a tenner, way under a tenner for a lot of them as well. So great fun. Thank you, Wine Ninjas, for that, and the Portuguese. That was good fun. A new time, 7 o'clock on a Monday evening with the Portuguese. He was talking about tariffs last night, and funnily enough, we had quite a few tariff experts on in the chat as well. Right, let me just share with you then my news pick of the morning. Rec check, I'm calling this. This is from Euronews. It's nice to go a bit further beyond the likes of the Portugal Resident and the Portugal News. I've just filed my story. This just before coming on air, sent it into the editor for publication this week. Oh, Dan Thompson just popping in before I go to the news there. Bon dia. We were finally able to register for an A1 Portuguese language class. Very happy. Muito feliz. Very good. Hey, good luck with that. Let us know how it goes, Dan, if you will. Right. This story then, shipwrecks and the amount of, is it called, I hesitate to say it, but booty. When pirates are talking about booty, they're talking about treasure, aren't they? And not backsides. I'm thinking this is the backside of the earth in many ways. The territorial waters of Portugal are strewn. There's a good word. Are strewn with treasure. So let's have a look at what they're saying here at Euronews. Around 250 treasure-laden shipwrecks may lie in Portuguese waters, expert says. Uh-oh. An expert is saying this. Let's find out what we make of this. Is anyone here an expert in hidden treasure, as well as virology, climate, tariffs, etc., etc.? An archaeologist believes that around 250 shipwrecks with lost treasures may be hidden in Portuguese waters, but they're left unprotected due to a lack of government intervention. No one likes to be unprotected in the first thing in the morning. An underwater archaeologist, which conjures up a picture, to me anyway, of a man in a tweed suit, thoroughly soggy on account of being underwater. Anyway, Alexandra Monteiro, he's talking about the coastal areas of mainland Portugal and the waters around the Azores and Madeira, of course. Did you notice The Randy Levine yesterday, the outgoing ambassador, definitely called the Azores the Azores. Anyway, we'll talk about them more in this article. Alexandre Monteiro, a researcher from Nova University in Lisbon, revealed his findings, which are based on a detailed database he compiled of shipwrecks dating back to the 1500s. This is exciting stuff, isn't it? And this is also when we find out who among us has a PADI. Is it a certificate or training or qualification to go diving? I suppose snorkeling, scuba diving, a little bit different to this deep sea business that we're talking about here, dating back to the 1500s anyway, when historical records became available. I've documented around 7,500 wrecks along the mainland coast, 1,000 near the Açores, and 120 near Madeira, he told Portuguese you say it, man. He told Portuguese news agency Lusa. Monteiro estimates that roughly 250 of these wrecks contain lost treasures. Cue music. Have we got some spooky music to go along with that? I know, for instance, that off the coast of Troya, close to home, down there in the Margem Sul, right, going a bit further south than Bobby O'Reilly, there's a Spanish ship from 1589 called Nossa Senhora de Rosario. That was one of the wines last night as well, actually. I've investigated its history. This is not me speaking. This is Professor Monteiro. He has investigated the history of the Nossa Senhora de Rosario and even knows the name of the captain's mother. Wow. Official records show it carried 22 tons of gold and silver. Har! When asked if shiver me timbers, right? Shiver me waterlogged timbers here. When asked if the government is aware of this information, Monteiro said the details have been published, but no action has been taken. We know there are 250 treasure ships, and sooner or later, a construction project or something similar will uncover one of them. There's no contingency plan to protect such discoveries, he warned. It's all right as soon as something gets discovered, like, what was it, bats or Roman bridges under construction projects. The work stop and the government will figure out what to do. There's no contingency plan, however, no plan. Monteiro also dismissed the risk of treasure hunters raiding these sites, explaining, well, that's unlikely as most of the wrecks are buried under sand. That's a bit of a damp squib ending, I have to say. And apologies for the picture of the enlarged prostate. And my goodness, what are they trying to share with me this morning over at Euronews? An interesting advert selection. Enlarged prostates and tracksuits. That definitely my look, isn't it? Okay. Album, that looks good. Album anniversaries, 3 records to celebrate in February 2025. Don't recognize any of those album anniversaries there. Anyway, least said about that, the better, in my view. These blooming adverts that come up. Anyway, that's thanks to Euronews there. That is your rec check for this morning. Should we have a look at some weather? Oh, what's that? João Ernesto got a pastel de nata ready to demonstrate this morning. Morning to you as well, Hugh. Tell a friend to tell a friend that we're here, everybody, this morning. Let's have a look at our weather, shall we? We've got a nice Bon Dia daily deal for you as well. 10% off rentals. That's what you call them. We call them car hire in the UK. You call them rentals, don't you, in the US? B-Rent will give you 10% off with a special code. Come back to that a little bit later on. And a first aid course as well to tell you about. And in about 10 minutes, we've got João Ernesto Donort, and we'll find out how he's getting on with the health situation that John had. But I think he's doing well, which is great. And have you got your results, Mr. S? Not from the clinic. Have you got your results from your examination, your language examination? Let's be very clear about this. Your language examination, you were a little bit disgruntled, I think, to say the least, yesterday, but it sounds as though Sipple, or Capel, as you put it here, Zippel, I think, acknowledged their mistake. Phew! Right, the rage has subsided. No, I haven't. Oh, so you haven't got your results, but you have had an acknowledgement of the mistake made by the exam board. Well, that's some progress right there, is it not? So well done on that, Mr. S. Let's have a look at the Bon Dia daily weather then, shall we? See what's going on. Beautiful day yesterday. I took the most incredible picture of the sunshine yesterday. I'm just reminded of that now. Absolute stonking sunshine yesterday. Really nice. It was too hot. yesterday. It was really beautiful. It was the first day I can remember for ages where the sun did feel very hot on the skin, and I was able to take the most extraordinary photograph. As though another reality was. It wasn't because I'd eaten a bad prawn or had a funny mushroom, but check out this picture here of the sun that I took to send to somebody, of course, because that's what you do when the sun starts shining. You stop moaning about the rain here in Portugal, and you send some pictures of the sunshine to whoever you think might be pleased to see them or not, as the case may be. For me, it's often the Portuguese. Look at that. Just held my camera up, didn't really compose anything because I couldn't see anything with that bright sunshine in my face, and ended up with this. I suppose that's literally an optical illusion, isn't it? That's the way that the light has hit the lens in the camera and created that rather splendid, laser-like split in the sky. It's a sort of thing, isn't it, that if your eye did that, maybe to our ancestors, if they chanced upon the sun and looked up into the sky and saw something like that, they could be forgiven for thinking they were seeing an angel right there. So yeah, nice picky there. Where was it? Weather. Yeah, let's go to the weather and have a look at what's going on. And yes, so good sunny day yesterday. The weather forecast came up trumping with that yesterday, did it not? So difficult, the choice of words these days, isn't it? Right, where are we? I'm not trying to upload another picture. I'm trying to bring to you the weather page, and I will, I tell you. Okay, let's have a look. Here we go. The Good Morning Portugal weather page, the Spartan FX weather, and it's at 7 degrees in Lisbon at the moment, and I'll put it on the screen so that you can see that as well. And have you got a request? Where are you, Mr. S? Would you like to have personalized weather? I can't do it on a village granular level, but I can definitely do it in your district if you'd like me to do that this morning. So we've got Lisbon at 7 degrees, rising to 15. Bit cloudy, not as sunny as yesterday, but the sun shall return tomorrow. The weather people say. Porto, 7 degrees at the moment, rising to 13. Good morning to you, Lonnie, and thank you for your help on the new Portugal resident article. Coimbra, 9 degrees, overcast at the moment, a bit cloudy, and will remain so today with a high of 16. Sun returning tomorrow in Coimbra, rising to 17 as well. That's nice, isn't it? Looking forward to those 20-plus degree days here in Portugal. Not long now, folks. Faro, 8 degrees, rising to 14. Sunny day. It's sunny at the moment in Faro, actually. Might be a bit cloudy a little bit later on, and sunny again tomorrow with 16 the high. Tomorrow, that is. Braga, 8 degrees, overcast clouds, 14 degrees the high today. And a little bit of a cloudy week up in the north. A little bit more sunshine tomorrow than today. And I'm going to have a look at Leria. That's my local weather. 8 degrees, overcast with clouds. That looks about right as I cast a glance into the garden and above the garden into the skies. 12 degrees. No, 15 degrees. Sorry, I'm looking at Porto Alegre there. 15 degrees centigrade is the high today. Currently 8. And it'll be sunny again tomorrow, Wednesday. Very nice. Looking forward to that. Oh, and the men's shed. The men's shed every Wednesday now. We had a crisis meeting. The San Martino. Oh, there you go. There's the weather. And if you want your moving currency guide from Spartan FX, just send them an email, gmp@spartanfx.co.uk, and get your free copy of Moving Money to Portugal. Their guide, absolutely free to you. gmp@spartanfx.co.uk. Yeah, the men's shed, a bit of a forming, norming, and storming issue. It's a great initiative. Well done, Josh, and all the fellas who are involved here in San Martino de Porto with that. And it just kind of, I don't know, it's got a bit loose and flabby, like many of the men in the men's shed, quite frankly. However, and I don't mean that in a bad way, although that's quite a difficult thing to have uttered and defend. Anyway, I will apologize to them personally on Wednesday. The gathering will take place every Wednesday now, so that we don't have this, is it on this Wednesday or not? Every Wednesday at the cocktail bar, where the party will be on the 15th of February. At 7 o'clock, I'm doing the late shift. I can't get there until about 9, but we have a new men's shed regular venue and time, Wednesdays from 7 at the Casa de Lem cocktail bar. If you're in this area, come along. Some really nice blokes who are part of the men's shed. Bon dia, rapaziada from JMC, and Mike is in as well. Bon dia, Gumpers. How was Costco? By the way, I think a lot of friends here will have gone, Costco, what cost? Did he just say Costco? I haven't got a Bon dia daily deal with them. I do have a Bondia daily deal with B Rent, though. Let me also bring them onto the screen. That's our daily deal, 10% off rentals with a B Rent. You'll find them on our homepage. You can click through to B Rent. I'm going to go straight there now. We'll have a look at some of their prices this morning, and also must let you know about this first aid course that's happening with our friend Jenny Lowe's here on the Silver Coast. Right, B Rent, it's part of Benacar, of course, and there you go. They are a great couple of companies. I think they've got a bicycling company over there, a cycle store as well over in Benedita. But they are so professional in how they go about things, and it was lovely to see one of the Gumpers here bought a car. We showed you the video of when it got sold, and a video it was made. And I saw the car being presented with a lovely big red ribbon on it at Benacar. This is their rental section, B Rent. We can give you 10% off rentals there. And look, you can get a Fiat 500 for 10 euros a day there. How about that? And something bigger. Is that a 7-seater? That looks interesting. 80 euros. So you'll get your 8 euros off that. The Mitsubishi Space Star Automatico. There you go. That's a concern, isn't it, for some drivers, to not have a stick shift but have an automatic. Automatics or similar from 22 euros a day there. And just hit me up for the code. It is GMPT10. If you forget that, just drop me a line, 913-590-303 for B Rent there. And I shall let me just put the link to that in the chat in case that's perfect timing for you, or you want to bookmark it and squirrel it away. Villamora, I thought, Mr. S, you were up north for some reason. Are you learning northern Portuguese? Is that why I think you're in the north and you often speak to us with a kind of northern vernacular? But Villamora, that's the Algarve, isn't it? My whole class, look, you're the hero now. My whole class benefited from my complaint. Very good. Well done. And, okay, John, I got your message there. Fantastic. Let's just go over to Facebook now, to where Jenny was advertising her first aid course. I think that's everything I wanted to cover this morning on the Bondia Daily. Yeah, just this to tell you about then, if I may. First aid, talk about well-being news. You can't get more sort of in the moment well-being than a first aid course, really, can you? I'm reading here, due to popular demand, the second basic life support and first aid workshop. Now, many people will have done this as part of their work life, won't they? Being on a first aid course. I know I did that when I was in the UK. Join me, says Jenny Lowe's, an RGN, a registered nurse with the Ordem dos Enfermeiros. The Ordained, the Order of the Infirmaries, is that right? Certified BLS instructor and over 25 years of experience for another hands-on session that could save lives. This is on the 19th of February, 2025. Starts at 10, goes on till 1, only 3 hours. You could make it a part of a weekend in Caldas de Rainha, couldn't you, where it takes place? Exact venue, TBC, to be confirmed. Cost a mere 35 euros per person. Includes an ebook and links to resources. Just 10 participants. So you get some decent attention on that. A small class size sounds good. Space is filled up fast last time, so book your spot now to avoid missing out. Why attend, she asks. Gain confidence in providing basic life support. That's BLS. I didn't know that, including CPR. Staying alive. Staying alive, staying alive. Is that how they teach it still, I wonder? With a training dummy, identify what you can't keep the training dummy. It's only for classroom purposes. Identify warning signs of heart attack, stroke, sepsis, and other emergencies. Hands-on practice with essential home health monitoring tools like blood pressure monitors and pulse oximeters. Navigate local healthcare in Portugal. Know when and where to seek help. Feel empowered to respond swiftly in critical, life-threatening situations. Whether you're a caregiver, parent, or simply want peace of mind, this workshop equips you to act decisively when every second counts. And I will put the details on how you can get in touch with Jenny into the chat right now. Perfect timing right there, 8:20, and time to talk to John João Ernesto de Norte to give him his correct title. Before I do that, let me just make sure those details are there for Jenny Lowe's, and to say hello to Pam, who's with us. Bon dia to you, Pam. I used to live in Covilla. There you go. And JMC, by the way, if anyone's looking for a Tigra, that's a 2-seater diesel. Why not? Can you give us a nice Gumper deal on that, JMC? How much do you want for it? And you can at least send me a few photographs, can you? And we'll see if we can help you with that. Let's give him a nice big round of applause. And bring him onto the screen. João Ernesto de Norte, everybody. Olá, bom dia. Tudo bem, João?
Tudo bem? Bom dia, Portugal.
Bom dia, Portugal, from you. And I've